In today's video, Khamzat, Chimaev, and Darren Till go after PFL fighter. Figueiredo vs Moreno 4 targeted for UFC 283. Islam Makhachev fires back at Michael Chandler. Sean O'Malley claims that Makhachev is overhyped. Charles Oliveira's coach says Islam is a better wrestler than Khabib. Scott Coker unsure if Dillon Danis will ever return to Bellator. And Brendan Schaub reacts to USADA not testing Conor McGregor. The SMESH Brothers recently went after PFL fighter Sadibou Sy during a training session at All Stars MMA gym. Here's the video.
The only guy that still takes me down. Hey, what's now? I'll take on the both SMESH Brothers. I take on both SMESH Brothers.
According to Rodrigo Del Campo Gonzalez, DEIVESON, Figueiredo, and Brendan Moreno will collide for a fourth time as part of the upcoming UFC 283 pay-per-view event recently made official for January 21st, 2023 inside Juanes Arena in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. On Monday, Gonzalez tweeted, "Can confirm final arrangements are taking place for Brendan Moreno vs DEIVESON Figueiredo 4 to unify the UFC's 125-pound title on January 21st, 2023 at UFC 283. First show in Brazil since March 2020, first in Rio since May 2019, and the fourth fight between in little over 2 years." Islam Makhachev has fired back at Michael Chandler over recent comments.
Great.
Now, Islam took to Twitter and fired back at Chandler by stating, "Ha, your only 2 win in the UFC is Hooker, who came out of loss, and Tony, who has 5 losses in a row now. Please shut up and stay in line." Islam's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, also took some shots at Chandler by tweeting, "Your 2 wins in the UFC over guys with a combined record of 1-9 in the last 10, the Cloud Chaser." Sean O'Malley will compete on the same card as Islam Makhachev at UFC 280 and believes underdog Charles Oliveira will defeat Makhachev via stoppage in the main event. In an interview with Helen Yee, O'Malley also said that he thinks Islam is overhyped due to his relationship with former champion Khabib Nurmagomedov. He stated, "Honestly, I haven't watched a ton of Islam, more of a little bit of his recent stuff, but it's crazy how hyped up he is, literally because Khabib says how good he is. Obviously, he's went out there and performed really well in his last couple of fights too, but we're so excited about this guy. We're not super hyped because of all the crazy performances he's had. It's more so just because Khabib thinks this guy's the best in the world. I would love to see Charles go out there and get the job done." Charles Oliveira's coach thinks Islam Makhachev has better wrestling than Khabib Nurmagomedov. In an interview with PVZ, coach Ali Reza Noe explained why he thinks so. He said, "Charles's adversary Islam Makhachev is very good at wrestling. I think even better than Khabib, which is another athlete from Dagestan. He is better, certainly, of course, because he is a wrestler, Khabib isn't. Khabib is a Sambo fighter. Islam has also done Sambo, but he is a wrestler first, and then a Sambo fighter, and then an MMA fighter." Noe also claimed that Oliveira is more than prepared for Islam's wrestling at UFC 280, and that he doesn't expect Do Bronx to get taken down once, predicting a submission victory for the former champ. "We are working on all techniques, but I really don't think Islam will take him down. In case he takes Charles down, it will not be so easy to stabilize him like other opponents he's faced, Charles submitting Makhachev in the second round or winning via decision." It's been more than 3 years since the jiu-jitsu standout and grappling coach of Conor McGregor stepped into the cage, and Scott Coker isn't sure whether he'll ever return. Back in February, Coker welcomed the idea of putting Danis on a card in Ireland, where presumably he would draw support from the community, in which he has ties to partially due to his relationship with McGregor. However, 7 months later, the Bellator president is still no closer to booking Danis. During Bellator 285's media scrum, Coker had this to say about Danis' future in Bellator.
You know, listen, Dillon is a kid we had a lot of high hopes for. He's super talented, ground jiu-jitsu, fighter. But he's got to stay active, and he's got to want to come back. And he calls me, he wants to come back, and then sometimes I don't hear from him for months. So if he's really serious about coming back, we'll definitely have a spot for him, and we'll make an opportunity for him.
As we yesterday reported, according to MMA reporter Aaron Bronstetter, Conor McGregor is the only active UFC fighter who has not been tested by USADA this year. Speaking on the most recent episode of the Thick Boy podcast, Brandon Schaub shared his thoughts on the USADA McGregor situation.
This whole USADA shit, it's basically like the WWE, right? When you find a guy in the WWE gets busted for steroids, that's just them trying to get rid of the guy. At WWE, come on, dude. Because remember, the testing, the WWE runs it. Just so you guys know, the UFC, the USADA works for the UFC. It's not an outside commission like the Nevada Commission or California Commission. They are literally employed by the UFC to do this. So they can say, don't test Conor, don't test this guy, don't test this guy. You know, outside that, do your regular shit. So it's tough, man. That's tough. That's very tough. You're not going to test your most famous guy
who's recovering.
Yeah,
I know.
But then you're going to show up at other fighters' room at 4 a.m. and make them piss.
And the DHEA thing, too. I know. It's really weird.
The UFC may grant an exemption to the 6-month written notice. Like VADA and those like legit testing, you can't grant you an exemption to fight earlier. It's all murky waters. But again, I'm full of shit.
Here are the top 3 funniest memes we found on the internet. Third place was found over Reddit and was posted by a user named The Epic Salad. Second place was found over Facebook and was posted by a user named UFC and MMA Memes. And our top pick was also found over Reddit and was posted by a user named Society of Heathens. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest MMA news.